Hello, everyone, and welcome to Seaview Quantum Network. I'm your presenter, Daniel, and I'm here with producer Claudia Pareca. We are cosmic beings, beings of light. A single moment of your time is one of the most extraordinary gifts we could ever be given. We are honored every time that we receive one of those moments. We are honored, overjoyed, privileged, and humbled. We serve in your presence. Our shows are held on Mondays and Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, 9 a.m. Pacific. At any moment, to participate on one of our shows, please call 805-830-8344 and press 1 to talk with the host. All podcasts are easily found in all social media and are available free, live, or on demand. To request a show, please write to Claudia Pareco, cview1111@gmail.com, or visit our website, cview1111.net.
Call for free at 805-830-8344 and wait in line or use Take My Call. And for $11, you can jump the long list of callers. Do so at www.paypal.me/PURECO/11 and then please PM or email Claudia Pareco with the phone number you'll call the show at cview1111@gmail.com.
Now, let's listen to our host and topic of the day.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Daniel, for that introduction, and welcome to Seeking Divinity. Today's show is going to be online psychic medium reading with our host, Sati Chappelle. Sati's podcast is one of the best online sites for accurate intuitive readings, and this is after we have heard and read and heard from reviews from our listeners and callers who have had a fantastic reading during our show. Sati has helped many callers with finding love, managing their careers and finances, and handling also relationships. Psychic readings by phone or chat are available during our show. So Sati is also known to be a very professional, and she harbors qualities like kindness and friendliness with a loving and compassionate heart. Bring her to our show so we can start with any pertinent information that Sati has for all of us for today's time. Hey, Sati.
Hello, Miss Claudia. Hello, all of our listeners out there. Hope you guys are all well.
And hello to you too. So Sati, do you have any advice, general advice for everyone that is listening today that would help us during these times?
Well, I think you could have found a smaller question.
Well, just a tiny one. Just a tiny one so you don't have to expand yourself.
We have had such a couple of years. I mean, you could say it was the last 2 or the last 1.5, or you could say it was the last 5 or last 10. It all really depends. But, you know, it's getting more and more intense here on this earth. And there's a lot of reasons why. There's a ton of reasons why it's getting so intense. But, you know, one of the things that I want to say in regards to that may answer your question is that, you know, we're all going through an evolutionary change and an evolutionary shift. The thing is that this is no longer brand new news. Everybody is talking about this. And people who would never have heard anything like that or thought of anything like that before are even actually hearing it now. We have come to realize how true that is, not just in our own lives, but in the lives of our loved ones. We can see it. We can see it happening within governments and happening just all over the planet. And I would like to ask everybody to keep the faith, to keep that sense of hope alive, because whenever there is a crossing of the threshold, let's say, of evolutionary change, in which we are leaving behind the old and we're moving into the new, there is always that time of intensity and that time of deep struggle. And that can be on an internal, personal level within an individual, or that can happen within governments, or that can happen within countries, or that can happen within whole sections of many countries that are all put together. And you know, we're all seeing this at this point in time. And so when I ask that everybody keep kind of the faith that it's all going to come out in the wash, that it's all going to be okay, when I ask that people keep up that hope, that sense of hope, it's because, you know, evolution and learning, change in general, is just not really the most comfortable place to be. It's not that place that most people go, ooh, let me go there. And I think the reason why is because it is so uncomfortable and sometimes downright absolutely painful. It doesn't have to be, but it can be. And in particular, when we're trying to shift an energy that has a lot of potency to it or a lot of negativity to it, or it can be even just trying to get a new ball rolling. I don't know about you, but whenever I try to do something that is just brand new, like hot off the shelf, never been thought of before in the history of the world, right? It takes a while to get that momentum going, and the first initial stages of that can be very challenging. And we're in like all of that at this point in time. So keep the faith. Hold that space in your heart for this evolutionary change to come in a positive way. And let's see what happens.
Thank you, Sati. That is beautiful. So with that, are you ready to start our show?
Absolutely. I can't wait to speak to people today. I'm really excited.
Me too. So we're going to start with Lola. She is in Colorado, and she used Take My Call. So she gets 2 questions, and then we're going to go with Birthday Girl, who's here with us. Thank you.
Well, hello, my fellow Coloradan Lola. I am also in Colorado.
Oh, hello. I love Colorado. It's where I'm born and raised.
It's gorgeous, gorgeous country. A little chilly this spring, but that's okay.
Right. So I do kind of have some opposite questions. So I know, I was first question maybe should be about a job. I kind of had a job offer, and it's in between 2 jobs that are very similar, and I'm just kind of wondering what you're feeling about jobs for me.
Okay, so Lola, what I need you to do, honey, is to hold the thought in your mind of job number 1. This is the one that you maybe have your heart set on, or the one that you're drawn to the most, or the one that you think will give you the most, the one that has just a tiny bit of an edge over the other one. Hold that one in your mind, and only that one in your mind, for just a moment, okay? All right, so now what I would like you to do is to hold the second job in your mind. So forget entirely about the first. Just bring that energy, that concept, the thought of where you would be working or who it would be with or anything you know about the secondary job. Just bring that energy in to your mind and hold it for just a second. So, all right, Miss Lola, here we go. I'm going to make this really clear and simple. It's the second job. Even though the first job is the one that I asked you to draw in, that was the one that had a little bit of the leading edge, the second one is the one that is going to serve you better. So let me kind of just talk about these two for a moment. The first job looks really good. It's got like a lot of the things that you're looking for in it. It's almost what I might call like a gift from God. I mean, you couldn't go wrong with either one of these. But even though this first one looks so fabulous, the problem I see with it is that as you work there, you're going to find a couple of things happening. You're going to find a couple of people stealing your ideas and saying that they are their ideas, and that they then build upon that and kind of cut you out of the deal. And this will happen time and again. I also see that there's a little bit of frustration and a bit of depression because you say to yourself, my goodness, I have given everything to this and I'm not getting recognized, and I don't know why that is. So even though this is a gift from God, I mean, it is a wonderful opportunity. It may not personally hold those happiness aspects that you're really looking for, and the success aspects, because if you've got somebody that's going to be taking your ideas, it's going to be really, really hard to get ahead. In the second job, there's less expectation for you going into the job, less expectation of the job itself, less expectation of them to you and how you will perform. So you can go in there and be the hero tomorrow. You know, you can walk in the door and they can be like, oh my goodness, this person is fabulous, and they do exactly what they say. And you could end up every day like having wonderful work experience, wonderful responses to the work that you do. And so the people are going to be like super thrilled. You're the miracle worker, and they just love you. And so can you see how these two really differ? When you said to me you had opposite questions, I know it wasn't with this, but these guys are almost like opposite jobs, you know?
Yeah, what you're saying is true. There's some pros to both of them, but what you're saying is absolutely the truth.
Yay! Well, then you know which one to take. Take the second one. Enjoy it. Now, the only thing I will say is that there's a little piece of your mind that's going, but the first one will pay me more. So I guess that really what your question is going to come down to for yourself is it worth it? Is that extra money worth the frustration and the lack of security and the inability to get recognized? Or is it going to be better for me to take a little bit less money and to, enjoy the ride and have a great opportunity and great success? And, if I look at that question for you, it's a toss-up. I think that what I'm going to say to you, Miss Lola, is that money is great. We all need it. There's lots that you can do with it. I understand. But ultimately, it feels like if you get too upset about things, you can't stay very long. So if you can see
that's the damn truth. I'm a Sagittarius, so that's very true.
Gotcha. Yes, you are then. So if you can see that first job as a temporary thing, meaning that I'm going to ride it because it's going to get me to step B, then it will work very well for you. But if you invest in it, forget it. It's going to be too hard. Does all of that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome.
Now, I have a second question. I don't know if I'm allowed.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I have these friends for about 10 years. We were bonded by a death of another friend, these two women. And we kind of have a falling out, and I'm just wondering if at some point, maybe it might not be the same again, but are we going to be friends again at some point?
All right, so what I'd like you to do is, again, hold thoughts of both of those people in your mind, and let me look at them. So initially when you were speaking, I kind of felt like the three of you have kind of started to go your separate ways. Your interests, your desires, and your the importances have changed. So your priorities have changed between each other and individually. So it's like when I look at it, and you hold the thought of them, I can see still this love between all of you, but you have to kind of get out of your own way and, like all of you, and go back to that place of love and open acceptance, or else it's not going to work. And I'm going to say that one of you is going to have too hard of a time, and I believe that she is the one that has the darker color hair. She is going to have too hard of a time because there is some sense of mistrust or trust that has been misplaced, and I think it was an error. I think that she felt that something happened that didn't happen, and so she's blaming the two of you. So she is going to totally pull herself out of the situation, and you'll be left with the other person. And, you'll come and go and kind of in and out. I kind of see this as crossing of paths and then moving away and crossing of paths again. And it's okay. You guys fulfilled the important work that needed to be done by being there for each other during a very tragic, very hard time. And you helped each other move on. So now that you guys are moving on, kind of let them go with love and blessings, and let the lighter-haired one come back to you.
Okay, so one of them, we're just not going to be friends again, and the other one, it will be kind of just friends, but not the same type of deal.
Right, not close, exactly. But still, she'll come in and out of your life. It is a she, right?
Okay.
The lighter-colored one.
She. They're actually sisters. The lighter color one is Shannon, and the darker color one is Katie.
I never like to ask for names on the radio, but you know
Sorry,
what?
they won't ever listen to this, so it won't be. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. That's fine. And, yeah, so, Katie is the one that just, there's almost this flavor of betrayal somehow in there. And she perceives that it was done to her. And I think it's a big misperception, but it doesn't matter. When you perceive of something like that, you believe it heart and soul, even if it is a misperception.
Right. Okay. Gosh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Miss Lola. You can find me at seekingdivinity.com, and I would be happy to speak with you further on this if you wish.
Sounds good. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye, Claudia.
Thank you, Lola.
Bye.
Sati, I was telling people about the classes that you are still allowing people to sign up, which is for learning the tarot and also to do the advanced chakra energy work. So if they go to seekingdivinity.com, can they find more information there, or should they contact you directly?
It's always a good idea to contact me directly, but the information for the tarot course is on that website. The information for the chakra course has not yet been loaded. I hope to get that up there by the middle or end of July. That's my target. We'll see if that happens, but that's what I'm shooting for. And but anyway, I've given both courses a lot over many years. the chakra course I've given over, 20 years, but it's putting it in a new way. So I've been refining it and wanting to make sure that it's appealing to a larger group, because I was mostly giving it in the context of yoga and yoga teacher training. So I'm just trying to get it to apply to all beings instead of yogis. And that's just taking me a little extra time with that. But yes, having people contact me at Sati, well, actually it would be Sati at bmsprogression.com, or they can email me through my website, current website, which is seekingdivinity.com. Either way, they can get a hold of me. But thanks for asking. That's awesome. And thanks for promoting that, because I really love both courses.
Yeah, and it's having a class with you, Sati, it's amazing. So I would greatly recommend that. So now we're going to go with birthday girl Dana, and she's in North Carolina. Welcome to CView.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Well, if it isn't a blast from the past.
I know. It's wonderful to connect with you.
Happy birthday. Didn't you just
Thank
turn
you.
50?
I did, yeah. And when you said earlier about walking through a threshold, I feel like I've walked through a threshold.
Oh, my goodness. You know what? I just love my 50s. They've been my happiest time so far, so may that also be the same for you, my friend.
Thank you.
What can I do for you today, Miss Dana?
Well, I am at a crossroads. I have made a lot of changes in my life, as many of us have lately. But I sold my house in October, and Tim, you remember Tim? Tim and I are now living in a one-bedroom apartment. So I got rid of most of my furniture, most of my belongings, and we're living in a one-bedroom apartment, same area, and looking for a new home. Also, I can officially retire early now that I'm 50, so I'm thinking strongly about that. I know I feel like the shelf life there has expired, and I'm ready for change. I'm ready for something new, but also don't want to rush into something, or obviously I'm like a lot of people. I want things to be in my time. But I understand that the universe has a bigger plan, so I feel like something big is coming. I don't know what that is, but I feel like it's going to involve not only where I'll be living, but where I'll be working and what I'll be shifting into next.
Well, my love, you just hit about 10 categories. So you know what? I'm going to narrow this down in the interest of the radio time. How about that?
Perfect.
Okay, so I'm going to hit the big question. So give me just a half a second, and we'll move on.
Sure.
Okay. That sigh is not negative towards you. It's just sometimes I have to really ground. So here's what I'm going to say. I asked that, since you had so many questions, that the one that had the most importance to be answered at this period of time. And what comes up is, don't yet leave your day job. And I'm sorry, I'm going to apologize in advance, because whenever I have to say that to somebody, I'm like, I can feel them groan. Like, even if they don't, I can feel them go, "Arr." I really am sorry about that. But, darling, it is for your best interest that you don't yet retire. At least for 10 months, which in my mind would kind of carry you through to the end of the school year of the next season, like the next school year.
That's actually my plan. That is actually my plan anyway. So that's affirmation for me.
That's good. Absolutely. That's good. It would be in your best interest to stay on maybe 2 school years. But that is up to you, honestly. Your guides are like, you know what, as long as she can get through the next one, we're golden. If she could do 2, that's great, because it has to do with the money that would come after. And it also has to do with a little bit of finalization of some growth that you are going through, and some putting things in place. So let me try to explain this both to you and to the listeners who might also be in a similar place. When you are in a giant change, as we all are, guides look down the road. The universe looks down the road. The divine God, whatever you want to say, God, Goddess, looks down the road and goes, okay, what is this person, or what is this country, or what is this government going to need, organization, fill in the blank, right? What are they going to need in order to get from where they are to where they're going? And they have to put those steps in place. And that's kind of where you're at, Miss. So it's like if you leave too early, then you're sitting around twiddling your thumbs going, what the hell am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Where am I going? Who am I? What? And if you wait a little longer, then everything falls into place. You step off of your ship that is coming into port, and you get right on the dock instead of missing that dock entirely and falling into the water. So I'm hoping you're understanding my metaphor, but, I really want to say to you something that everybody can use, The other thing that I want to also say to you, my dear, is that this is really about money stuff and money for your future. So, the job that you're coming into, and I want to shift that word for a moment, the dharma, the career that you will be moving into from here, it's going to require you or your loved one to kind of carry the monetary weight for a little while until everything catches up with momentum and with speed to where it launches in a way that you can start having income come in from it. So there's that year buffer. And that's where the second year comes in handy. If you're still in the school system in the second year and you are still making some money, then nobody has to carry you. You don't have to worry. And you can already launch that new reality, that new career, and have the old help you through on a monetary level. And you can do that even part-time. Like if you say, I'm going to only be here part-time, that would be helpful as well. I don't know how that will be accepted, but you can give it a shot, right?
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. And that's really what I've been working on is, actually just a lot of healing stuff. And as you put it, a lot of growth, and also trying to build a foundation, because you're right. I will go crazy if I'm just sitting around. Like I need a foundation to step onto. So I've been studying human design, which is astrology based, and so I'm hoping to do something with that. But also I don't want to limit myself to that either. So. All righty. Well, darling, I would say, why don't we finish this conversation, privately, because there's just a lot going on in your life, and I would be so honored to help you with it. But that's up to you. Give me a call if you wish, or email me, and we'll set something up. But God, I'm so happy I got to speak with you. So many happy wishes for your 50th birthday, honey. Thank you very much, and I will definitely reach out, and I look forward to that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Miss Dana. Happy day. Bye.
Thank you, Dana. Okay, so now we're going to briefly jump into the chat room. So these are quick questions. So we have Sandy from Minnesota. Do you see me selling my house in the next 6 months? I love those questions that are like short, sweet, to the point. Unfortunately, I'm going to say no, but it's because of the timeline gave me.
So here I need to let Sandy understand. In 3 months' time, she will get a contract on the house. And that's really slow in today's market. But there's some extenuating reasons as to why. At that 3-month mark, she'll get a contract on the house. And she'll be like really excited. But unfortunately, the last week before closing, it will fall through. The next time that she gets it is on that 8th or 10th month. And I'm thinking I'm going to go for the middle, which is number 9. But it's somewhere around there. And then that one will stick. It'll totally sell. It'll be done, and she'll be able to move on. And she'll actually get the price that she wants for it. This first contract that comes in 3 months, there's going to be some weird stipulations with it that she's not going to like anyway, but she's going to feel she has no choice to take it. And then when the people back out, she'll kind of be like, whoo, yay, dodged a bullet. So hopefully that helps Miss Sandy. What's the next one?
Thank you. So now we're going to go back to the switchboard, and everybody that is on the chat room, we have many people. Please write your question and let me know your name and state, just the first name. Okay, so now we're going to bring some male energy. So we're going to go first to New York and bring Vince to the show.
Hello.
Hello, Vince.
How are you?
I'm great. I am great. What can I do for you today?
Well, last week I had a Zoom job interview with a brewery, and I just found out yesterday that they want to move forward with another interview. So I haven't got it scheduled yet. I'm just waiting to hear from the HR as to when they want to do it. So I'm wondering if you see me doing good with the interview and if they give me a job offer.
Okay. So if you will do good with the interview, kind of stuck in my mind. There is a couple of things with this. I really would like you to go into interviews with a little bit more personal acceptance of self, not belief in self, not, bravado or ego, but like, I accept who I am, this is who I am. And then allow yourself to relax a little bit. Sometimes I think you just get like so pent up and agitated before you go into an interview. And I'd really like to see you relax so that these people could see more of the real you instead of seeing some of this anxiety or nervousness going into interviews. The second thing I want to say is that I do think that this brewery likes you. I think that they are going to offer you a job, but it's going to take 2 to 3 weeks yet for that to happen.
Right.
And it feels to me like it would be a really good situation for you and a situation in which you would enjoy being with them, working with them for a long time to come. The only thing I do see is somewhere around the 1.25 year mark of working there, maybe 1.5 year mark, you're going to branch out and take a secondary position that's going to be part-time. And you're doing this for some monetary reasons because you're needing to save up some money at that point. But I believe that still this is where you're going to enjoy being at this particular brewery, and it's going to be kind of a match made in heaven. So when you go into the second interview, remember that. Kind of go, okay, show me how this can be a match made in heaven, and then allow yourself to relax, and I think you'll just ace it.
Okay. Yeah, because I really do want this job. It's it's different company from a brewery. It's actually owned by a brewery, but this is where they make cans for other companies like soda cans, beer cans, for them to send to companies to fill. So this is where I'm at right now, and I really do feel like I belong there, and I've been trying to get in there for quite some time.
Well, again, it's not about belief in self. It's allowing that natural state of being to show so that you come across as more relaxed. I think that right now employers are kind of funny. It comes across to me like, especially this employer, they really want people that are not high-strung, which is ironic.
Yeah.
There's so many people out there that are high-strung because they need work. So it's like they're not going to find a whole lot of not high-strung people. And that's what I'm saying. If you go in with this sense of being relaxed and just allowing yourself to enjoy the interview without any pressure, and, even if you have to kind of kid yourself to do that, however it needs to be done so that you can enjoy. I'm not suggesting taking Valium or anything, but I am.
Yeah, I know.
I am suggesting just, relaxing and enjoying the process and letting that be seen.
Okay.
And thank you for calling, Vince.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks.
One of the ways that I have found myself that helps is if you put yourself like a witness position. Like if you could just separate yourself and you can see the whole, and like a game of dominoes playing up, and you see yourself outside of the position, and so you get into that interview and you become the witness of everything that is going on and just admire that and it helps a lot. So now we're going to get another male energy. Now we're going to California and we're bringing Nathaniel.
Hello, Nathaniel.
Hello, hi. Thanks for taking my call.
I'm happy to speak with you.
I wanted to see if I could at least start off with a general message coming in from Spirit or anything.
For you specifically or for the audience?
For me.
I figured as much, but how you set up the question, I just wanted to have clarification. All right, so Nathaniel, give me just a second. I know that you would like to see some change come with the planet. I know that you would like to see some healing come to the planet. I know that you would like to see some healing come to the oceans. The ocean by you has been undergoing a great amount of stress over the last couple of years in particular. And if it's not pollution coming up from Mexico or nuclear energy or waste coming from Japan with the earthquake, tsunami stuff. I mean, it's just in general, the waters out there are feeling really sick is the words that I want to use here. But there's also like issues in you, water issues in you. And one of the things that all of this conveys, as I'm seeing just waves upon waves that they're showing me, is that, stepping into the flow of life a little bit more, feeling the ability to enjoy that flow, and, maybe working a little bit more on water within your own body as well as water within the ocean that's out there by you. And trying to help to shift all of that and heal that and bring greater, I can say clarity, because clarity is definitely something that's needed in water in general. But, it's not just that. It's like the animals, it's the organisms in the water, it's all of this stuff. And I feel it's the same with you. So now I'm going to separate what I'm saying, and I'm going to put it in a way that you can actually use it, because that's just like this overall feeling. And your guides are not being 100% specific with it, and I kind of wish they were, but they aren't. But I'm going to go ahead and narrow it down so that you can use this. This is about dehydration within yourself, being able to feed yourselves with water, because you come across to me as being more on the dehydrated side. It's also about being able to bring healing to yourself through the means of water, and working with healing the waters of the planet and helping everything come back into balance, because that is imperative with water in general. Balance and flow and clarity, all of these three things go together. Us emotionally, which is very much indicative of water, then we can say that, we're not clear, just for example's sake. I don't know why they're putting this in such a nebulous way. I apologize. I really am trying to shift it down, but they keep showing me more of this nebulous concept. So I'm just trying to let you know what they're showing me, and to say, get out there and try to heal the water in yourself and in all, any organism that you wish, meaning lake, creek, river, ocean. I mean, it doesn't necessarily matter. Does any of that make even a lick of sense to you?
Maybe a little here. I don't know. I think we're, coming times, at the end of, biblical prophecy, and, I'm not sure if, there's going to be a rapture here, or the aliens are all going to abduct us, but there is quite a, a lot of turmoil in the world right now, and I was hoping for more of a general answer for myself, for my own life, but not a global kind of a question, but I try to say that, that it was, for me, but it seems to be more of a global, they got the chemtrails and they're controlling the weather, and, they're making all these storms, and, so I'm not sure that, the global elites are out to kill off a few billion people with, all the vaccines or whatnot, a lot of people, whatever. So we're in a very strange couple of years that we've been going through, so I don't know where it's all leading. I hope it's going to be a great, place, but I don't know what's going to have to take place, before then.
Well, Sir Nathaniel, I mean, I understand what you're saying. There are a lot of crazy thoughts going around out there right now, and I'm going to say that not all of them are true. And quite a few of the ones that you mentioned are illusionary, and they are propaganda, but they are not true. But there are other things that are true. So you know what? I'm not going to split hairs and say which is and which isn't, because that is not my task. But I can say clarity then becomes very important, as does balance, and being able to step back from emotional situations and look at things very clearly and with great logic and critical thinking can help immensely a person to understand what it is that is actually happening before them and around them. And, I'm going to say something else here that sounds really weird and kind of harsh, but I want to say it to everybody and not, I'm not directing this towards you, Nathaniel, at all. If even all of those things that you said were true were to happen, none of us are going to be here to see that end result anyway. Now, that sounds harsh, and I apologize to everybody for the harshness, but that's pure logic. So to worry about it and to over-focus on it can create distress in your current life, which then takes you out of balance, takes you out of the flow of life, which is one of the first things I spoke of to you specifically, and can upset, that balance within, and even that water aspect within your being. We're mostly made of water. So, what I'm going to say is that if we try to just take things every day and we try to be clear within ourselves as to what it is that we actually think is happening on this planet at this time of great change, and we really look at all of the information out there, or that information that seems to be the least preposterous, and we start to find a balance back in self, oftentimes then things can shift and change. So I wish that for you, my friend. I wish that for everybody, that we come back to a place of critical thinking, clarity, and being able to really look at things from that perspective of balanced intuition. Thank you so much for calling today, Nathaniel. Good luck with everything.
And thank you, Nathaniel. So now we're going to go to the chat room, and we have Gavi from Florida asking, will Peter come to see me? And how does he feel about our current situation?
Good question. I don't think that Peter is going to head back in her direction. It looks to me like at this moment he is, for lack of a better way of saying it, enjoying the separation. He is feeling like this is what was needed for a while, and he is feeling pretty clear in himself that this is what he wants. When I look ahead, like farther down the road, he can come back, but it would be a couple of years down the road. And I want to suggest to her not to wait, that Peter is off on his own track and his own, heading in his own destiny, heading his own way, and it's not really congruent with her path anymore. And it would be better for her to move on and to find people that actually are in alignment with what she thinks and what she sees and what she understands, as well as who will bring growth and change for her. And Peter does not bring growth or change for her. He brings very much the same that they have always had. So hopefully that will help her, and it will help her feel maybe a little bit better about the situation. I highly suggest that she let him go. Good luck.
Thank you for that. Good luck, Gabby. And everyone that is on the chat room, post your question along with your first name and where are you located. Okay, so now let's see. We have time for more callers, and let's choose. Sati, we have someone from Ohio, California, Washington State. We have from North Carolina, Arizona, Atlanta. Which one do you want?
Good Lord have mercy. You know what? The Washington one really stuck out to me, but hopefully we can get to all of them. We'll see.
We'll see. So then let's bring Anne from Washington State.
Hello.
Hello, Anne. How can I serve you today?
Well, you mentioned before the show started about spiritual gifts. So my question is about my gifts coming out, and especially writing and journal writing. And I know that's an important thing for me to do every day, and for whatever reason I resist writing. So anything about those subjects.
Okie dokie. Thank you so much. Sorry that took an extra moment or so. I don't
Sure.
usually take long, but I needed to shift some energy. So, okay, let's see what you got going on here, Miss Anne. Well, so, I understand resisting, but I don't think it's not coming across to me like you're actually resisting writing. It's like you're not quite sure what it is that you want to write about. And so that flow is not there. If you had a subject in your mind that you wanted to write about, I think it would just kind of come right on out, and you'd be like, oh, this is great. Okay, I can do this. So how it comes across to me is that you may want to look at something that you really want to teach to another. And it could be somebody in your life. This is how inspiration can come to a nicely well-written piece, right? Is if you say, God, if I only could talk to Clara and tell Clara blah, 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 and teach her about blah, 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 what would I say to her if I had the freedom to just say whatever I felt I needed to say on that subject with her? And you can start that way. You can start small in that way, because a lot of this feels to me to have teaching flavors involved, and that's what your guides are wanting you to practice writing on. So even if you were to create stories at some point later on down the road, they would still have this element of teaching involved, which is something that I think you really would enjoy doing. So start there, start small, and think about, if I could speak to, and it could be somebody even you don't know, if I could speak to J-Lo, what would I tell her about blah, 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 right? And it's like, start there and get that flavor, that feeling moving in you, so you can see what it's like when your energy and your mind adhere to each other and come out in very balanced words that you can then, write out. And I think that's gonna help you tremendously. The only other thing that I can say is that, if you also want to start with like some relationship stuff, it seems that you have a lot to say on relationships in general, and maybe that would be another way that you can kind of narrow it down. Gee whiz, if I could talk to David and tell him about his relationship, maybe I could help him understand X, Y, and Z. And so you write that out. It flows very smoothly, very easily, and you go, oh, this is actually easy.
And then adding to that channeled information. I mean, do you see me, many people have said I have that skill in me or that gift in me of channeled writing.
Well,
or is it all the same?
As a channel myself of 32 years, I can tell you that one of the greatest challenges to channeling is getting out of our own way. So you have a strong personality, which is great. I love your personality. But sometimes that can be hard to get channeled information to come through. Now, don't get me wrong. Let me tell you, I have a strong personality as well. And
you're very forthright. I like that.
Anybody that speaks about me that knows me would tell you that first off, right? So it's not that it's hopeless. It's just that you have to learn, like we as strong personalities have to kind of learn how to take a back seat and allow the information to come through. So one of the things that I gave you was a trick when we were talking earlier, because while you are writing, oftentimes what happens is if you're in the zone and you're just writing and you're thinking about Clara or J-Lo or whatever the examples I gave you, and the information is flowing, you get out of your own way. And that's when channeled information can come through. So it's all about learning how to decipher what is your voice and what is the voice of other. That will all help you, my friend.
Definitely. I'm so glad you came to me, and that is exactly what I needed. So thank you very much.
Thank you for
You're
calling.
welcome. Have a good day.
Okay, have a great weekend.
Okay, so now let's go to Ohio and bring Selson to the show.
Hello?
Hi, could you tell me your name again, please? I'm not sure that I understood.
Filson, Filsan.
Perfect. Thank you so much. What can I do for you today, Filson?
I would like to ask about spiritual development, whatever you see is best for me to hear right now in that topic.
That's a great question. Very easy, very open-ended. Nice. Thank you. And you didn't ask about it being in general, which can be applied to you or the rest of the world. So I love how you asked that question. Give me 2 seconds. Well, one of the things that I think that you need to learn is how to juggle. It comes across to me that when you try to multitask or you do too much, it does you in. So it really affects how you see the world, who you are. It affects a bit of the mind, the emotions. It kind of, I have a good friend who I thought came up with the word Twitter-pated. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't, but I love the word Twitter-pated because it just kind of explains everything. So, you know, when I say juggling, I'm not meaning like go out and get yourself a couple of balls and learn how to juggle, although if that's what you wish to do, enjoy. What I am saying is learning how more to juggle your energy, juggle your interests, juggle the things that you really want to do, because for you, it's really all about being able to, how do I want to say this, balance the energy so that you can send out the correct energy of what you want. You spoke very clearly with regards to the question that you had, which, let me tell you, that's 9/10 of getting the right answer. The other thing, though, is that on an energetic level, it looks to me like your energy tends to kind of go in a bunch of different directions. And they're wanting you to learn either how to juggle that so that it doesn't tear you apart and make you crazy, or how to refine that so you can pull in, kind of like the old cartoons where they'd have a bunch of balls thrown at them at once, but they could toss out the baseball spitting machine that spits out all the baseballs all in one direction, right? So that it doesn't overwhelm you. The other thing that I want to say about this is that you're on the threshold of really learning to understand how to work with energy and manifestation. And this is why they're talking about juggling the energy, not getting too scattered, and learning how to take things that are scattered and bring them into one place and send them in one direction, so that when you manifest things, you manifest them clearly, you manifest them easily with very little effort, and you get what you want instead of you get this weird concoction that you're like, how the hell did that happen? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that makes complete sense. And it resonates with me because I just noticed that whenever I'm focused on two different things or even different parts of my life, I have a hard time, like, standing up straight, like, if that makes sense, energetically.
Right. And it's not that you can't do two different parts of your life at once. It's learning how to do it to where you maintain your balance and you maintain your groundedness so that you can still work with all of these differing energies and send them in the right direction. So I'm going to say that your spiritual development is on the energetic level for the next 8 years. And that can be very rewarding. There can be so much beautiful so many beautiful things that you can bring into your reality. as well as, creating for yourself exactly the reality you want to live. So kudos to you, darling.
Okay, thank you. Blessings.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling. Okay, so we have reached the end of today's show, and we have many more people that wanted to ask you questions. So where can they find you if they want to have a one-on-one with Sati?
Well, always they can contact me through my website, which is www.seekingdivinity, that's 2 E's, seekingdivinity.com. And, I am always happy to be able to work with people. One-on-one is my absolute favorite because we can kind of get into the nitty-gritty and we can really look at both clear perceptions and some misperceptions, because I kind of really narrow everything down to that. It's like if we have clear perceptions of things, the reality that we create is going to be clear. Kind of elementary. If we have misperceptions of things, then there's a lot of clutter and a lot of baggage that we gather along the way, and our reality becomes kind of a maelstrom of all different kinds of things. So I really would ask people to, in these times, especially since it's so chaotic in the world right now, in these times, to seek balance at every opportunity. Take some time to meditate and take some time to do good things, not just for yourself, but for others as well. And let's see what we can do to really bring about a positive future instead of getting caught up in all of the negative hearsay that, people think is either happening or is going to happen or could happen. As Buddha says, if you worry about the negative happening, then you get pummeled by that negativity twice. Once in worrying about it before it happens, and the second time when it occurs. Something to think about.
Something to think about. Well, thank you so much, Sati, for that. Again, everybody, remember seekingdivinity.com. And we are taking names for the online certification program, either to learn the tarot or to learn advanced chakra energy work. Find that also on seekingdivinity.com or email Sati at bmsprogression.com. Also, Facebook. You can always private message Sati so she can get you into the program. Don't miss it. And Sati, thank you so much for being here with us. Everybody, we wish you the best June ever.
Thank you so much, Miss Claudia. And I just want to say that's BMS, as in body, mind, spirit. Easy to remember. Not always hard to tell what the letters are that are being said. But yes, thank you so much. Have a wonderful summer, everyone. I look forward to speaking with you in July. Thank you, Miss Claudia. Have a great weekend.
Thank you as well. Goodbye.